Hello. Well, it's good to be back again one more time on your favorite show, that is Talk Shop. Before I start, let me say a big up to my doctor, man, Dr. Pencil. Dr. Pencil, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. Thank you so much. He's the one taking care of me. So let me say a big up to Dr. Pencil. He's at the bank hospital. Anyway, the show is Talk Shop, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And as we say all the time, man, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. But before that, on this program, we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And my favorite question that I ask all the time is, folks, what time is it? And your favorite answer is nation time. You know, we want to build this nation. And everything we do is geared towards building this nation, man. I'm telling you something that today, by the way, let me tell you what we're talking about today. Of course, we'll look at the budget. That's one of the main issues that we want to look at. So we'll be looking at the budget. And one of the other issues I'm going to be talking about, I call them the young and the dynamic. We'll be talking about them very soon. Who are the young and the dynamic? We'll be talking about them, and then we'll talk about the budget. But let me say this generally, even before I get into whatever I want to talk about, is this. What worries me about this partisan system that we have is that we are so disunited, so that every time there's a party in power, there's another group of people who are hoping that that party fails. Let me talk about NDC, MPP. Here's the thing. When NDC is in power, the hope that most extremists of the MPP will be praying for, they should fail. Why? Because if they fail, then we will have a chance of getting power. And when you reverse, it's the same thing. Now, this is what I'm talking about, folks. If as a nation, we can't get to any time where we can all get together and focus on the nation and say, I pray that this nation wins. And not this party, pray that the nation wins. And if the nation wins, we all benefit. So it's quite unfortunate. The system that we have doesn't promote that. The system that we have always promotes that someone should fail so that we can come to power. And it is wrong. But that's what we have, and that's what we're working with. But what I've been doing on this show till date, since we started, I said, Charlie, let us realize now the Akwa election, and overwhelmingly NDC has won. Mahama is in power. All I'm saying is this. Let us all now think of us as a nation. And let's do what it takes to build this nation. And let me show. Let's do what it takes to build Ghana. Because when Ghana is successful, all of us benefit. There's no time in the history of any country that when the country is performing and progressing, it benefits only a selected few. No. Inti patrol, me, yes, I campaigned for change. I wanted the change. I campaigned, and I every show that I did was, Charlie, change must come. And change came. It does not mean that if something is going on right now, I'm not going to talk about it, but the change has come. Charlie, let's build this country. I'm tired of Ghanaians always migrating out of Ghana. Say, no, let's build this country. And as I've said, I don't know how much longer I'll be on this earth, but I'm committed to, as long as I have life, the important for me thing is Ghana first. And yes, please. And Ghana will be first until I die. And let's all join in building our country. Ghana first, other parties come second. Now let me move on to what I want to talk about today. Please, Charlie, before, when Cheddar was running for election, there was all this excitement. cheddar. You know, there was some excitement. Said, finally, somebody from the youth bracket is campaigning for president. Why? Oh, yeah, Brendan Kokrano. We are tired of the old people. We are Brendan Kokrano. The old people are not giving us the chance. We are tired of the old people. And all that feeling was what actually went into that craze that people had for cheddar. Like some young guy has emerged and is going to change everything radically overnight. But it didn't happen like that. At the end of the day, when we went to the election, the results were different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to lead to my next discussion. There has been a craving for the young folks to take over. I mean, there's been a craving for the young folks to be given a platform. At the very least, though, give them the chance. They be paying for all the time. Senior this, senior minister that, senior this, and Kokrano. My age and above, we admit, we are Kokrano. So the youth out there are looking for a chance. All the time. We don't get the chance. We got the opportunity. We don't get the chance. Now, finally. And let me say, kudos to John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. He's opened it up. When it comes to Parliament, in terms of MPs, there are youth who have been given the chance. And when it comes to the general state enterprises and the boards, the youth have been given a chance. This is what I call the young and the dynamic. Let me do a roll call of the young and the dynamic who have been given an opportunity. Let me start with the MPs. The first one is the man who's called Ghana's sexiest man, whether true or not, John Dumelo. The next on the list is Suhini. Then we get Abeku. Then we have the young Frank Amwakuhini. We have another young man, Sam George. These are all young guys, active, dynamic, and we've had them all on different occasions. Some of them have held offices before. I'm looking at them with a fresh eye for a fresh start. So these are the MPs who are young, who are dynamic, who have now joined the mainstream. Now let's go to the public, the state organizations. First, we have the articulate and the vociferous Sammy Gyamfi. Okay, he's now running the PAMC. The next on the roll call is that Basintale man, Basintale, who is now responsible for the youth. And then we have another dynamic, vociferous person, Abeku Santana. We have the charming, elegant Joselyn Dumas. Oh my goodness. Of course, we have my man, KOD. And then from the presidency, we have Amaprat. All right. And then we have a Shamima Muslim. And my panel person on the roll call, the last but not the least, Eduji Tamaklo, MP. Okay. I call them the young and the dynamic. As we will say. Now this is the point I'm trying to make, folks. We have heard it how young people should be given the chance. Now I'm talking to you directly, man, all those who were on my roll call list. Please, guys, make a difference. You know, the thing I'm talking about is this. The cry has been that young people have not been given the chance. The complaint has been that old folks want to hold on to the positions and will not allow the young ones to come into the fray. And that is what I call the original lamentation. And chance. And folks, I'm telling you, all the people I have named, these are dynamic people. These are the youth. And I'm saying, finally, the door has been opened for you to enter. You have only one challenge, man. Only one challenge. And how you fulfill the task of making people understand. That is what we're talking about. We have to see a difference. Wherever sector you've been put into, We have to see a difference. Abeku Santana. My dear, should I say son? Abeku Santana. Ding. You have now been actually given the position in tourism. Abeku, you have done so much. You've gone to Kenya, Wakoha. I've seen little video clips of you and travels you've done and everything with tourism. Now, the ball is in your court. I'm saying that to all of you, don't be another NATO alliance. You know what I mean by NATO alliance? I did a show and I'm saying, oh, NATO alliance. NATO is that no action, talk only. Please, this group of youth who are supposed to be dynamic, let us not see a NATO alliance. No action, talk only. Abeku, this is right in your alley. How many awards haven't you won in tourism? How many citations have you not gathered in tourism? Now you made a deputy CEO for the tourist board. Shall you prove it? Prove it all. And this is what I'm saying. We have the opportunity. We want to now sit back and say, I said all the time, we said it that we're not giving the youth the opportunity. Now we give them the opportunity. Do you see what has happened? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Say, Abeku Bayano, so and so changes have suddenly come up in the tourism department. I mean, the tourism sector. So work is being done. That's what I'm talking about. KOD. My goodness, I wasn't expecting your name, but KOD, you are in charge of diaspora relations or diaspora affairs. Your able deputy is Joselyn Dumas, in charge of diaspora. You know, what is the diaspora? Are we talking about Ghanaians in the diaspora? Are we talking about African Americans in the diaspora? Are we talking about blacks in the diaspora? What is it? All I'm saying is that you've been given a chance to define something and add value to it so that few years down the line we can say, wow, when the Office of the Diaspora Relations emerged, this is what happened, that is what happened. We can list accomplishments, we can list innovations, we can list creative things that you guys have added. Because right now, if you ask me, I'll tell you the truth. When we say diaspora affairs or diaspora relations, we mean a vague. I know that we have the diaspora of black people. It's something vague. But the challenge you guys have is that turn it into something that's a reality and add value to it. And when I say add value to it, it means it be something that I can talk about and cite examples. KOD need Joselyn Bayano. We have this festival. Now all of a sudden, every whatever, we have an Nkrumah year. Something! Please. Right now, it is existing only in title diaspora. But you guys, as the youth, as a dynamic, and to prove to the Ghanaians that to prove that we're waiting for the youth to energize and change things. Do something and don't be part of the NATO. Please. Basintale, that Basintale guy, you have become some kind of phenomenon. Basintale, I remember the first day you go into your office, the Okada motorcade that you had was bigger than any presidential motorcade I've seen. But Basintale, you are the youth. You are a young man. And I hear that you're also an old boy of Prempe. And they were me junior, and me junior, we are me back. Basintale, make a difference. How many times have we not heard youth this, youth that, youth this, youth that? Yeah, Now, Basintale, you have been giving the platform in your hands. What is youth employment? Youth employment? I want to see a difference. I want to see in few months, years down the line, when Basintale came, we always had the youth employment problems. We always had youth this, youth that. Be innovative. What can you create for the youth that will either lead to employment or is employment? You're dealing with the youth in Basintale. Let me tell you, The youth, all they say is that, yeah, Pejuma, we want employment, we want employment. Some of the youth that are begging for employment are unemployable. And you are now in employment. Very soon you understand what I mean by unemployable. Work on that. Change things, folks. Bring some dynamism by creating things that we can talk about. Say, when Basintale took over, these are the changes you have seen. These are the amount of youth that are come up, that are doing this, that are doing that. Please develop linkages. Sammy Gyamfi, you have a big task now. Precious minerals. Precious minerals. What else can Ghana boast of other than the precious minerals that you have? Everything comes as a precious minerals. So our forest, our gold, our timber, our diamond, name it. Precious minerals. Sammy Gyamfi, make a difference. Charlie, when you make the difference, number one, you are alerting Ghanaians that what was missing all this time was that the youth was not giving a chance. That's why things were slow. The youth were not giving a chance. That's why things were inefficient. The youth were not giving a chance. That's why we didn't see any dynamism. Abeku, Sammy Gyamfi, wakasa, you speak, and you speak very well. You're a very articulate gentleman. But now the ball is in your court, man. It's not about talking. It's about transformation. Let's see what you can bring to the PMMC that can show the difference. Please, it's a task. It's a task. And I'm telling you, the chance has been given you. And so if you prove yourselves, then no longer can anybody say, Charlie, the youth has not been given a chance, because the chance is in your hands. Eroji, my main man, one from the Busumuru of a talk show host or something. Eroji, please, oh, please. MPA is a solid asset that Ghana has. If there has been any problem with MPA, it has been lack of dynamism. It has been lack of a strict business-minded focus on how to generate money. But other than that, you are sitting on a pot of wealth. Do something, man. We've heard you. You are an articulate person. And this is what I'm saying. I am happy that all you people who can talk, who have some kind of influence over things, Mahama say, okay, Munye, now prove your worth. So I beg, let me come back here and do a show in 1 year and list things you have done that is a visible, tangible improvement from what you inherited. So that's it with the state organizations, you know. Now let me talk about the MPs, young guys who have been given the opportunity that you have to either prove yourselves and prove the nation that there was something missing, and that was the energy of the youth. Sam George, Charlie, another very vociferous person. You are right there, right in the middle of it too. Communications is a huge thing. Please, Sam George, are you going to prove that the energy of the youth that you are bringing to communication is going to make a difference, or is it going to be the same old thing? Let me tell you this. Eyes are watching. Eyes are watching, and people are watching, and we want to make sure that you are going to deliver. Okay, Sam George, Ablakwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs. This is not a small job, man. Okay, as a foreign minister, you're not going to talk about what you want personally or what you want personally to do. No, it is tied up to the entire vision of what your president have. But the difference must come from you, man. We have to be able to say when I do a show in the next 6 months that Charlie, Foreign Affairs Ministry, you know, this is the impact we are seeing, and it's new, and it's all because we had Okujetu Ablakwa there, and he did this and he did that. Okujetu, already you have started talking about you're going to make sure that the passport office runs for 24 hours.
We want the passport administration in our country to become a 24-hour operation. we are going to be running 3 shifts so that we want to cut down on the waiting time for passports. We believe that within a week, it should be possible to get a Ghanaian passport when you apply for it. And the 24-hour intervention we are making will address that.
So it's something that we are waiting to see, that the passport office is working for 24 hours, and passports that normally take months. I know people have applied for their passports and they've been waiting for months. No, you say the maximum time will be like 7 days because there's activity. Let me be able to come and do the show in 6 months or in a year and say, right now, dear, thanks to Kujeto and his vision and everything, now I can get a passport when I apply within the first 7 days. That's what I'm talking about. My good friends, John Dumelo. I mean, let me first of all big you up, man. You are not just somebody who talks. All this time you've been involved in agric, you're doing poultry, you're doing farming. Show some love, man. I mean, you've been in it. And many people who were thinking that you're going to come and be a part of the government were even thinking maybe tourism or something in the entertainment sector, but you have been put right there, Deputy Agric. Massa, you have a lot to do. Your challenge is this. You know what? The youth are not getting into agric. And the big reason is agric and just sexy. I'm using sexy in that sense of the word. Agric, agriculture, farming. But you have made it sexy already. You have made it sexy. Say, Dumelo, this actor, this guy, back and forth. And I say he was a farmer. Say he was rearing snails and he was doing farms. So I'm begging you up, John. But now they've thrown into your hands agriculture. Please transform the area. Make agriculture so attractive that I can come and sit here and talk about, hey, Charlie, thanks to John Dumelo, now the youth, at least I've seen that about 30 or 40% of youth are drifting into agriculture. Hey, what happened? John Dumelo Bayelo. Folks, all my long talk I'm talking is that make a difference. Make a difference. So otherwise, they talk about your branding Kokrani, your branding Rewa, and there's no dynamism. No, this talk you have just really proved that it's just talk. It is no action, but tokoli. Make the difference. Who's that young guy, regional minister, and all the saying? Frank Amakoni, Ashanti region. Young guy. You have the whole Ashanti region in your hands, and here is you. So why wouldn't you? You know Ashanti for, and here is this, but prove something, man. Prove that the youth and the focus of the youth, the dynamism of the youth, your understanding of issues, because you are part of the youth, is different, and you're going to create a dynamic change in the Ashanti region because of you and your background and because of the know of the youth. So to wrap it all up, I just decided to do a roll call of the youth who are now being given the chance and the platform to work. Please work and let us see the difference. Otherwise, we are going back to the solid team of old men and women. Prove that we are different. Now let me talk about the budget, man. And I'm going to do a much fuller, detailed show on the budget. But let me say a few things about the budget. The first thing I want to talk about is that yes, the campaign promise of so many things have been fulfilled. E-levy has been scrapped. The COVID tax has been scrapped. The emissions tax has been scrapped. All these alleged nuisance taxes have all been scrapped.
We have programmed the following nuisance taxes for removal in line with our manifesto promise. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy of 1%. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as a Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners.
I want to make a quick comment about Ghanaians and taxes. Folks, it's not that Ghanaians do not like paying taxes. The problem is that Ghanaians don't know what the hell is happening to the taxes they pay. Trust me, if Ghanaians know and they see actually that the taxes they are paying are being used in development of this country, I don't think people will complain too much. But imagine taxes, there are taxes here, taxes on emissions, taxes on this. You collect all the taxes, and Ghanaians do not know how a single penny of the taxes that they are paying are spent, and that becomes a problem. For example, I think in all since e-levy came into being, I'm just guessing that the government has collected several millions of cedis. Imagine if, for example, imagine this, that every year during the State of the Nation or whatever, or even before then, the government can say, this is the amount of taxes we collected from e-levy, is this amount. And this is what they would use for. We actually have transformed maybe 800 schools that were schools under trees, and we have converted them now into classroom blocks. And then you show them A, B, C, D. And all over Ghana, we see the amount of schools that were formerly schools under trees. But because of, let's say, the collection of e-levy taxes, you say we collected X amount of taxes, and this is what they were used for. You show Ghanaians. Do you think anybody will complain? But the more the taxes are being collected, the more the schools that are under trees are coming up. The more education is sinking. Now at the end of the month, we'll be saying, so what is happening to all the taxes we are paying? So folks, this is it. It is not that Ghanaians complain about taxes. It is the fact that we don't know what the hell the government does with our taxes. There's no accountability, there is no transparency, there's nothing. What do we have to show for all the money that, you remember when COVID came, this thing was set up at the airport. Everybody arriving to Ghana were paying some levy to cover COVID test. Made millions. What happened to it? We just know that it was some paltry amount was given to the airports, and the rest went to Nigeria, whoever was organizing this. These are the things. This opens the door to stealing and looting, because nobody's accounting for monies that are being taken from the people. And that is what causes the problem. E-levy, who knows where it went to? You know, and so when all of a sudden it's time to campaign, and all the money that is thrown into campaigning for the presidents and presidency and everything sounds so ridiculous, why are Ghanaians not going to think, because there's no accountability, there's no transparency. So all these nuisance taxes have been cancelled. Betting tax has also been abolished.
Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on winning from lottery, otherwise known as the betting tax. We will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting.
For me, honestly, that's not one of my favorite things. I think it's the sad thing is that people have no employment. And in the absence of people getting jobs to do their betting, you know, I'm looking for the government that will come in, and this goes to you at 247. For me, not just say now you can bet without paying tax. I want you to get to the position where you can tell me it's no longer even necessary to bet, because you're going to create the employment. so that you are gainfully employed. Because the betting, Mimo dear, honestly, this may be the most unpopular thing I'm going to say, but I wish that people who are betting will pay tax. Because when you take the tax, I say, oh, encourage you, be betting. Tax, free. No, that's a very easy way out. Create the environment that can bring up jobs so that people can say, Charlie, I don't have to bet because I have avenues to work and get good money and I don't have to bet. And this falls onto the young guys that I'm talking about too. Dumelo, John, what are you going to click in agriculture? That's going to be so attractive that the incentive to going to bet will be overshadowed. And what will gain prominence is the incentive of let's get into farming. John, you're doing everything, including farming snails. Teach the people. Think of what you can bring up so that many people whose livelihood are depending on the betting crowd will say, Charlie, no, let's go into snail farming or mushroom farming or something. John Dumelo, you have started a good thing. Expand it. Let the youth benefit. In short terms, make agriculture sexy. A friend is saying, KOD, diaspora. What is it about the diaspora that you can do to make it exciting so that it can be also an avenue for job creation? I don't know. Media, that's a nice thing about getting to be at my age. You just throw out the suggestions and let you, those of you who are on the ground, you decide what to do with the suggestions. But think. You and Joselyn, think. This whole diaspora thing is huge. It's a money-making thing. You know what the critics are saying, but what is the importance of having tourism and also diaspora relations? Shouldn't diaspora relations and tourism, I don't know, all the same thing. Technically, common sense will tell you they're practically the same thing. But it is up to you to redefine how we see it so that they won't look like the same thing because you're doing something dynamic and innovative that is making this diaspora thing work so amazingly different so that those who are in tourism too know what to do. Folks, you are young guys, so set up a date and go and hang out. Can come and hang out at Cactus Creek, please. The dinner will be on me, but that's all. You stay there, they stay in there, you are paying. No, I'm just joking. But find a place, get together, hang out. All you young guys are more tourism, more diaspora. We hang out, talk, think, create, make a difference. Because man, yeah, you have waited it for everybody from years ago. Is youth in the crowd by Oman Yeshi. Folks, I didn't get time to really spend too much time on the budget as I wanted, but we'll come and revisit the budget again. Today, whether I like it or not, Mikata is just the spirit that directs me. I don't know what spirit it is, but that directs me. Maybe the talking spirit directs me. And I spent a lot of time on the youth who have come into power and what we expected of them. So I couldn't really get into the budget as much as I wanted. But trust me, in the next episode, we will really do the budget to a level that we can all really understand where we're going. And so all of you listening, please make sure you follow this page. Make sure you share this message. Especially those of you in the youth. Pass this word out to the youth. Say, Charlie, you have been given an opportunity to help. Don't mess it up. Oh. Don't mess it up. You have put what a solid youth team. Don't make it become a solid waste of time. Do things. Joseph Dobe, I've received several requests from you. You're looking for the picture. I like how you put it, man. The Nkrumah Jesus picture, whichever way you put it. Well, I want to send it to you. So just send quickly to this number the information where you want the picture sent to you at, and I'll make sure you get the picture. Follow this channel, share this information, and keep checking on Talk Shop, where we tell it like it is. And let the chips fall where they may. See ya.